This is really one that you'd be shocked. A lot of marketers aren't aware of what I'm about to share with you. You can't fall asleep, and you got to stay awake, figure out your market, okay, be strategic, and just stay in the game.
So Vince, what are the common pain points that are killing ads today? Vince.
What?
Yo.
What?
What are the common pain points that are killing ads today?
You mean the fact that these marketers falling asleep at the wheel?
Okay, honey.
I mean, where should I begin? I mean, there's a laundry list of things.
Well, let's start from the top.
All right, well, I mean, I would say the first thing is what I call strategic incompetence. It's really just marketing with no strategic plan. We can definitely dive into it. There's a lot of details in that. I would say the second thing would be what I call audience ignorance. If people really understood all of the different, angles and all of the different ways they can get in front of their target market, they could instantly increase results from ad campaigns like today.
Yep.
And I would say the third one, leaky funnels, just leaving a lot on the table, trying to essentially be right versus getting it right. A lot of that going on. But yeah, I would say those three things are really causing people's ad campaigns to go down the tube, man.
All the way down.
Yeah, pretty bad.
All right, so let's break down number one, strategic incompetence.
Yeah, so strategic incompetence really falls in line with it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And, when it comes to advertising, everybody can advertise. Anyone can run an ad, right? Anybody can drive traffic. So the question that you have to, ask yourself if you're not getting results and why your ad campaigns are failing is why? Like, what's going on? Why am I not getting results? And I think the first step that people need to look at is really understanding the levels of traffic. So if you really think of it like a basic grid, right? So think of the top of the grid. You've got cold traffic, you've got warm traffic, and you've got hot traffic. Cold traffic, that's individuals who have absolutely no idea who you are. So someone stumbling into this video, they have absolutely no idea who I am. The chances of them buying from me is slim to none. Warm traffic would be individuals that's watched the video, individuals that's visited your website. And hot traffic would be individuals that's opted in and become a lead, right? Now, once you understand just that general knowledge of the ad profit grid, the second step is to understand what's happening at each level and what you should be focused on. So when you're running cold ads to a cold market, which everyone has to start out doing because that's the only way to get someone to know you,
right,
is simply that, to get that individual to know you. So when you're running that initial ad to cold traffic, how can I get this person to essentially know who I am and how I can better serve them? Then the next step, essentially, once you get those individuals to know you in the cold zone, to move over to the warm zone, is to get those individuals to like you. And this is when you get people consistently coming back, watching your videos, visiting your social media channels, right? Really understanding that you have value to offer. And then the next step will essentially get those individuals to trust you, right? So if you purchase and you swipe that credit card or you provide someone with your name and email address, giving that first what I call micro transaction, right? That person now trusts you. Now you've moved over to the hot zone. Now, if you want to make a lot of money, if you can get your ads, the bulk of your ad spend to be in the hot zone, you're making a lot of money. That means you're running traffic to existing leads and buyers. So for example, Mark Zuckerberg, he owns the biggest list in the world, Facebook, right? We all had to provide an email address to have an account.
Yep.
That's why he's making a lot of money. Someone like Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in the world, he has one of the largest buyers lists, right? He owns Amazon. He doesn't have to go find new people to go on Amazon and buy a product. He just can market to existing buyers. That's the ultimate goal. So the individuals that are struggling, they don't understand these levels, so they're always in the cold zone and they're not making any money. And most marketers that are making 6 figures, 7 figures, they're pretty much operating more in the warm zone, right? But if they want to really get to that 7 figures and beyond, the goal is to get to where the bulk of your advertising is in that hot zone.
All right, so number 2, audience ignorance. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, this one is huge, man. This is really one that you'd be shocked. A lot of marketers aren't aware of what I'm about to share with you. And that's really just understanding what you have at your fingertips. It's like what you have when you're going into battle, right? So audience ignorance is just understanding all of the different audiences that you can actually target. So for example, you have lookalike audiences, right? So a lookalike audience is an audience that you can have a social media platform create for you. So for example, I could upload a list of leads to Facebook, and I could say, Facebook, take that data and create a lookalike audience of that data, and then you can target those individuals to run ads. You've got your social media pages, so your Facebook followers, people that are engaging with posts, people that are following you on Instagram. Okay, that's all connected. So you can essentially build those audiences and you can run ads to that. You can target people that watch your videos on social platforms. So for example, you post a video on Facebook or Instagram, you can go into that platform, create an audience based on how long they watch that video on the platform. Right? These are all audiences that are at your disposal. And what people don't do enough of is really understand that this is where you can start to run ads with more intent, right? Just understanding these audiences. So for example, someone watched my latest Instagram post, I'm gonna go create an audience of that, and that post was about lead generation, for example, right. Since we're talking ads and marketing, then I could run another ad to them based on the intent of knowing that they just watched a video about marketing or whatnot. Another audience you can build is just website visitors. This is getting a lot harder because of pixels and iOS updates and people having to accept it. I'm sure you probably noticed, you go to a website now, it always asks you to accept the cookies, and so you can basically be tracked.
It's interesting because for the longest time, I thought that was just associated with that website. Like that was a rule that they had to do. I didn't know that was with the operating system.
Yeah, that's the operating system, and it seems like every single week there's a new one, causing a lot of hurdles for a lot of these platforms to figure out a way to still track, because it's making marketers' lives hell who depend on retargeting. There's more. The OPVR audiences, which our platform EBOOV allows you to do. OPVR, off-platform video retargeting. So our software allows you to upload videos to our platform, and when you embed them on your website or on a capture page, you can build those video audiences off of platform on an API server level. It's not dependent on cookies. So once you press play, once you start watching those videos off of any social platform, I can start building those audiences and continue to advertise to individuals. Again, knowing all of the places that you can run ads to. And my favorite, and probably just as powerful as OPVR, off-platform retargeting list, is the leads audience. So any business right now could go to their database, grab all of their existing buyers, all of their existing leads, upload that list into social media and run ads to that list. That is, understanding all of those audiences. If you just started from there, right, and ran good ads with great offers, your ad campaigns would not die. Right. So that's really understanding audience, ignorance.
All right, and then number 3, the third concept you talked about, leaky funnels.
So this one's interesting and fun to talk about, because this one is where you really could dive into the marketer's stubbornness. They're like focused to be right versus getting it right. We've all been conditioned that we have to use a sales funnel, right? And typically it starts with an opt-in page I've kind of coined as a brick wall page, because it blocks 80% of traffic. It just does. On average, 20% of people opt in. And then behind that brick wall is typically a webinar or VSL, some form of video. And then there's another page, typically an application or like an order page to buy. We don't even blink when you hear that if you're a marketer. You just assume that's the way that you have to do it. But all of those different points in a funnel are breakage points. And if you step back and you ask yourself, why am I using this funnel? The way that we've been taught is that it's a way to filter out bad people and get to the interested buyers. And that might have been the case early on, but just like if we were to go to Vegas and go to a magic show, right? You go see David Copperfield, the guy's making, cars disappear. By the way, have you ever gone to one of his shows?
I haven't.
Oh man, I'm taking you.
You told me great things about that.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. I still don't. I mean, it's wild. And most likely, if we watched and sat through an entire show, you probably wouldn't. If I said, let's go watch it again, you'd be like, I just saw it, right? Typically, that's what's happening with funnels.
They're used to it.
They're used to it. They've seen it already. And one of my mentors told me, he said, innovation is not about adding steps, it's about taking steps away. So what you want to do is try to eliminate as many steps as you can. I mean, now they've got, messenger funnels and bots and all these things. And, it's just creating all of these breakage points where you can't even figure out what's going on. And that's why my funnel consists of one page and one video. Last but not least, when it comes to leaky funnels, just understanding like the amount of money you make comes down to how many offers you make, but it also comes down to your offer. We talked about this before. If you say who has the most touchdown passes in NFL history, it's Tom Brady. But Tom Brady also has the most pass attempts. right? Who has the most points in NBA history? LeBron James, but he also has the most shot attempts.
Right.
So in today's business, with costs going up and all the issues, people are so forced, like, I need a funnel. It's supposed to be like this. They haven't stopped and said, hold on. People have seen the magician's hand. They know that funnel. Okay, I'm not making as many offers. If 80% of the people are leaving and I'm not making any offers, I can't make any money. Therefore, I can't even make an offer, right? So that's really the big problem with leaky funnels.
Because they don't even get a chance to see what you're offering with that brick wall opt-in page in front of them.
The brick wall opt-in page and then all of the other pages after it. It's not only the brick wall page that's blocking 80%. They get to the video, only 35% of the 20% watch that video. So you're losing people there. And then usually that video is like, well, click a button and go to this page. So you're losing people there. So you're constantly losing people.
So basically, it's how much friction you can eliminate within your sales process.
100%.
To just improve it.
100%.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, so this makes a lot of sense, the way you broke it down. Now, for someone that is still on the fence, trying to figure out, you know, how can I best understand this? Can you just break this down for them even further?
Yeah, I think that really, you know, even in what we focus on each and every day is how can we just create more depth in our funnel, right? And, you know, there's this kind of philosophy that I kind of came up with years ago called the win the crowd strategy, right? If you have a problem that you solve, right, and you've got a good offer, you can make money. The things you've got to overcome is just build, you know, understanding what we talked about earlier, which understanding the ad profit grid, knowing where you are, knowing who you're talking to. But once you identify that, the win the crowd analogy is essentially saying, okay, in my specific niche, in my specific market, what are the top 10 companies that my potential customer is using? And let's say that you were like a singing artist or a rapper, right? And let's say that you had the chance to open up, be the opening act for 10 different artists, the biggest artists in the world. We'll go back in time. We'll just say Michael Jackson was still alive. We'll come back a little even
We'll go way back.
We'll go way back. We'll go Tupac was alive. Then we'll come further. Then we'll come even further. We'll go to Drake, right? And you could open up for, you know, all of these different artists. You have 10. You pick 10 of the biggest artists in the world. And you're the opening act, meaning like when you're up there performing, like people are just coming into the stadium. Right. And it's filling up and people are like, well, that person's kind of good. Now imagine if you could win 10% of these massive artists crowd. So like they're coming, oh, that person's good. And then now they take middle note, you know, Mike's a good artist. And you open it up for another person, they're amazing. And you're like, oh, that guy's pretty good. Eventually you're gonna have a massive market because you simply won the crowd. And I'll give you an example. Years ago, I saw Pink, the artist Pink, in this same scenario. I'm showing my age, but it was at a Boyz II Men, New Edition, and BRADY concert. Right?
Oh my goodness.
And Pink, I mean, I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know,
okay, so this was when she was first coming
This
up.
is when she was first coming up.
Okay.
So Pink was opening. And she, you know, had pink hair and was out there. And I remember being, this girl's talented. And it wasn't Pink. It was just that little girl out there with the pink hair.
Right, right.
But now it's Pink.
Yeah.
And she won the crowd. She paid the dues. So the key to it is, you know, me falling asleep is earlier, you can't fall asleep and you got to stay awake, figure out your market, okay, be strategic, and just stay in the game, right? Stay in the game and win the crowd.